Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I have a good one for you today, so let's get into it. Elisa Esposito was left unable to speak due to a neck injury she sustained as a baby. She communicates using sign language. Elisa was discovered abandoned by a river as an infant, bearing scars on her neck. Now, Elisa lives alone in an apartment above a movie theater and works as a janitor in a secret government laboratory in Baltimore during the early 1960s. Amid the Cold War. Her closest friends are Giles, her next-door neighbor, a middle-aged advertising illustrator who is also a closeted gay man, and Zelda, an African-American woman and fellow cleaner at the laboratory who serves as Elisa's interpreter at work. Elisa works at the laboratory during the night when nearly everyone has left. As part of the cleaning crew, she and her colleague Zelda can access all areas of the lab, including a locked room where a new water tank has been installed. Fleming is the head of security at the facility. The facility is home to a creature in a tank, recently captured by Colonel Richard Strickland from a South American river. While Elisa and Zelda are cleaning a cattle prod in the bathroom, Strickland enters with the prod in hand. It is at this moment that Elisa realizes the creature is being tortured, as she spots blood on one end of the prod. One night, Strickland staggers out of the tank room with two of his fingers cut off and his shirt drenched in blood. Elisa and Zelda are brought in by Fleming to clean the blood from the tank room. Curious, Elisa goes near the tank and discovers that the creature is a humanoid amphibian. Elisa finds Strickland's fingers and his wedding ring and gives them to Fleming. The fingers are reattached to Strickland by surgery. Elisa starts visiting the creature in secret, and they quickly develop a close bond. She begins by feeding it a boiled egg that she brought from home. Elisa communicates with the creature using sign language, and she introduces it to music, gradually winning its trust. It is from Elisa that Giles discovers a new creature has been brought into the facility, and that it is an amphibian. In an effort to gain an edge in the space race, General Frank Hoyt orders Strickland to dissect the creature. Robert Hofstetler, a scientist who is actually a Soviet spy named Dmitry Mosenkov, urges his Soviet superiors to keep the creature alive for further research. But his pleas fall on deaf ears. Hofstetler has witnessed the creature's interactions with Elisa and is aware of its intelligence. Hofstetler is in contact with his Soviet superiors, informing them that the creature can communicate with humans and responds to music and language. In response, the Soviet High Command orders Hofstetler to euthanize the creature, so the Americans cannot study it any longer. When Elisa learns of the Americans' plans for the amphibian man, she tries to convince Giles to help her rescue him. Initially, he refuses, believing that saving what he sees as an animal would break the law. After he is denied his job back and faces rejection from a local dessert pie restaurant manager, who reveals his racist and homophobic beliefs, Giles experiences a change of heart. Hofstetler is upset that Moscow rejected his plan to rescue the creature, ordering him instead to kill it. When he learns about Elisa's plan to save the creature, he decides to help her. Zelda joins in as they work on the escape, and they successfully bring the amphibian man to Elisa's apartment. Elisa keeps the creature in her bathtub, using water conditioning chemicals secretly provided by Hofstetler. She plans to release him into a nearby canal when heavy rain allows for access to the ocean. Meanwhile, Strickland is looking for the creature and interrogates both Elisa and Zelda, but he dismisses the idea that the help could be involved in the situation. Back at the apartment, Giles discovers the creature consuming one of Giles's cats. Startled, the creature attacks Giles and bolts from the apartment. The creature gets as far as the cinema downstairs before Elisa finds him and returns him to her apartment. The creature reaches out and touches Giles's balding head and his injured arm. When Giles wakes up the next morning, he finds that his hair has grown back and the wounds on his arm have healed. Meanwhile, Elisa and the creature begin to develop a romantic relationship, sleeping together in her bathroom, which she at one point floods for him. Hoyt threatens Strickland's life, demanding that he recover the asset within 36 hours. Meanwhile, Hofstetler's spy masters inform him that he will be extracted in 2 days. As the planned release date nears, the creature's health begins to deteriorate. Hofstetler goes to meet his 2 handlers, but Strickland follows him. During the meeting, Hofstetler is shot by one of the handlers. Strickland intervenes and shoots the handlers. In the process, he realizes that Hofstetler is a spy and tortures the dying man to reveal the whereabouts of the amphibian man. He is taken aback to discover that Elisa and Zelda are involved. Strickland confronts Zelda in her home, but his threats have no effect. During the encounter, Zelda's husband, Brewster, reveals that Elisa has the amphibian man. Alarmed, Zelda hurriedly calls Elisa to warn her to release the creature. Meanwhile, Strickland arrives at Elisa's apartment only to find it empty. He ransacks the place and eventually discovers clues about the creature in the bathtub, along with a calendar note indicating where Elisa plans to release the amphibian man. At the canal, Elisa and Giles are saying goodbye to the creature when Strickland suddenly arrives. He knocks Giles down and shoots both the amphibian man and Elisa. However, the amphibian man manages to heal himself and then attacks Strickland, ultimately killing him. As the police arrive at the scene with Zelda, the amphibian man takes Elisa's lifeless body and jumps into the canal. He swims around her, using his healing powers on the scars on her neck, which open to reveal gills like his own. Elisa suddenly jolts back to life, and they embrace and kiss. In a closing voiceover, Giles expresses his belief that Elisa lived happily ever after with the amphibian man.